Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Sonya Budgets and I am trying to keep our money straight and going to the right places that we need it to go, and trying to keep up with every penny that comes through this household. Right now I feel kind of like a rusty bucket with this got leaks in the bottom of it, in the bottom of the bucket, and money is kind of dripping through these holes. But anyway, we're going to get that straightened out. We welcome to my channel. I've got some new subscribers and I am so thankful that you're here. First of all, our money is in a mess right now. Our sinking funds, a couple in particular, have been devastated lately. I had to go to the doctor twice, and that took 2 doctor copays of $20, and that drained that account. And then I had to have some shots, which was covered under my copay. But then one appointment I actually got a prescription, and actually both appointments I got a prescription. I had a pain in my shoulder that was so bad that if crying would have helped, I would have just sat and cried. And I had to go to the doctor twice. That blew Dr. Copay sinking fund. That blew my prescription sinking fund. And so we've got to rectify that with this next paycheck. Plus, sad news on my little boys. My little boys are my little four-legged furry boys. Rudy is fine. He's not gotten into anything lately that would cause him to have to go to the vet or anything like that. But Jack, my little 7-year-old, we call him a Jack Weenie. He's a Jack Russell Dotson mix. Sweet, sweet, sweet little boy. He's 7 years old, and he is absolutely the sweetest natured, and just he's like a little gentleman. And I went Thursday night. I got home from work. I had to stay at the store till nearly 7 o'clock to try to get an order done for this little lady. And I got home about 7ish. I ate, and my son called me and I was talking to him, and Jack and Rudy were so rambunctious that I had to get on to them like a couple of kids. Y'all have to settle down. I can't hear, can I hear the phone? So they settled down. They always do when I, get on to them. But I think what they do is they nap all day while I'm not here. And then when I get home, they're awake and they play, and we want a lot of attention, and they were just rambunctious. They were bouncing off the walls. Rudy he will be 2 this summer, so he's still got plenty of energy, and Jack plenty of energy. But then I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning about 5:30, and Jack was laying in the floor in an unnatural position, and I called him. He did not respond. I called him again, and I noticed that his head was moving just a little bit. So I'm sitting there not knowing what to do for him, not knowing anything, what's going on with him. And I finally got up the courage, because I was actually scared. I didn't know what was wrong. And I picked him up. He never lays on the floor. Never. He either lays on the couch or lays in the recliner or something like that, but he never lays on the floor. And because he likes a blanket. He likes to be completely covered head to toe in a blanket. And I've got a blanket. I went over there and picked him up, and I had put another blanket in the recliner, and I made sure he was comfortable. I laid him on his side, and I made sure he was warm. I got ready, and the vet did not open up till 8, and he was breathing okay. He looked okay. He just could not move. So I carried him to the vet Friday morning, and the elderly vet that's been there forever, it's a little about a mile and a half from my house. I took him in and he checked him out, and Jack did not seem to be in any pain, but he had no use for his legs at all. His tail, nothing. He could not move anything except his head just a little bit. So the doctor told me that Jack most likely had botulism paralysis. We do live in the country, and we live on a 4-lane highway, and there's a lot of dead things that wind up on the side of the road. So we suspected that one time when he went outside to go to the bathroom, that he must have found something and got into it, which Jack normally stays pretty close to the house when he goes out. Now Rudy is a wild card. He's a lunatic. But Jack typically does not go to the highway. I mean, ever. So, but I took the doctor's word that he had botulism paralysis, and he said, we're going to give him a shot of steroid, we're going to give us antibiotic, we're going to send you home with some steroid shots and some antibiotics, and I want you to, make sure he stays hydrated. He sent home a syringe. He said give him water first, and if he won't take that, give him some Pedialyte. So I brought him home and made him comfortable, and my husband and I stayed with him all weekend, did not leave him alone. For one reason, didn't leave him alone because Rudy would have irritated him and aggravated him, because Rudy couldn't understand, why is Jack not playing, why is Jack not going outside, why is Jack just laying there. So we took care of him like a baby all weekend, and we give him his shots and his medicine. He had a very good appetite. He would eat very well, and he enjoyed being petted and held. He did not appear to be in any kind of pain. The doctor pinched him to see if he would respond to pain, and he did. He did not appreciate being pinched. So he said, I want to see him again Monday. Bring him Monday. Make sure you bring him back Monday. I want to know how this dog is doing. So we took him back yesterday. My husband and I both carried him back yesterday. And that particular vet was not in. And a younger vet saw him, and he said, I tell you what, I want to take more x-rays of Jack. And so he took him back to the x-ray, and he came back out, and he said, I want y'all to come and look at this x-ray. He had x-rayed Jack's neck, and Jack's vertebrae in his neck are shot. They are completely disintegrated and are compressed. And this happened over a period of just a few hours, because Jack the night before was playing and happy and had no complaints, and literally 10 hours later he is basically paralyzed. And so he is such a sweet boy. And anyway, they wanted to keep him at the vet's office and give him high doses of steroids, give him an IV because he was dehydrated. I could not get enough fluids down him over the weekend, and he would not drink out of a bowl. We would hold him to see if he would try to drink out of the bowl, and he would not drink. And we used the syringe to give him some water and some Pedialyte, but apparently it was not enough. But his appetite was good all weekend, and they've kept him. And I went to see him this morning before I went to work. I went down to see him, and they brought him out into an examining room, and Jack is just in a bad shape. He's in a really, really bad shape. I'm going to have to make a decision. We're going to have to make a decision about him in the next couple of days. The girl, the vets, the young vet, his wife works there, and she said, let's give Jack, a couple of more days and to see how he's going to do. They're hoping to bring down the swelling in, the inflammation in his little neck. And I said, what happened? I mean, he was fine Thursday night. He was playing. And they said, this is just one of those things. It's just one of those things that happen. And so it's very sad because we've had him since he was 4 weeks old. He was so tiny that when we would let him go outside and housebreak him, we had to go out with him because he would get lost in the leaves and everything, because he was born in the fall, and he would get lost if we had just let him go. And his ears were bigger than his body, and he's just always been just a sweet, sweet little boy, and a great companion. And he had his habits, and you get used to their habits, and their personalities are so you cannot compare one dog's personality to another dog, and his personality it still is. It's just fantastic. I carried him a treat this morning, and he was glad to see me, and he was glad to see the treat. And the girl that was taking care of him came in, and I've been feeding him lunch meat. So she had a piece of rolled up lunch meat, and she gave him that, and he ate that. And like I said, his appetite has not changed. Those huge brown eyes looking at me, and I guess he's trying to figure out, why can't I get up? Why can't I move? Anyway, it's very sad, but as a pet owner, it is something that you have to face. And it would be, I could probably bring Jack home and take care of him like a baby. He might live for years like this, but his quality of life would not be there. So I don't want to see him not being able to play and run and play with Rudy. And so we'll have to make a decision in a few days about what we're gonna do with Jack. So, but anyway, getting to the money aspect of it, I think I had $120 or $140 in that sinking fund, and it's gone. It's gone, and Jack is, basically in the hospital, and so that account is gone, and it doesn't matter that it's gone, and his bills will be taken care of, and we'll just I'm just hoping that when I go tomorrow to see him before I go to work, that he is better, and but he has no use for his legs at all. They don't function. If he had no feeling and did not respond to pain, then they said that there's no hope that he would ever regain use of his legs. But he does feel pain when they do the pains, stimulus or whatever you call it. He does feel that. He looks at him like, why'd you do that? So anyway, he's a sweet, sweet boy, and I really miss him not being here, and miss him not meeting me at the door when I get home. If you're not a pet lover, you cannot understand that. But anyway, I have one of the things that I've been working on, and one of the reasons I felt like I wasn't doing my budgeting properly, and it was very frustrating, and I did not ever do I want to do a checking tracker, because checking tracker is where all of our bills go through, whether it be in the form of most of our bills go through here. I usually take the ELOC to the bank, the home equity line of credit payment. I usually take that straight to the bank, which is a quarter of a mile from my store. but I will be keeping track of all those monies that go out. But one of the problems with my checking account was, it was, like I said, I had a rusty bucket, and it was springing leaks. And the problem was, number one, Amazon. Back in November the 8th, I believe it was, I paid for a year's subscription. I had people to advise me to just pay for a year's subscription and save some money, which in all reality, it saves a couple dollars, between $1 and $2 a month. Not much of a savings, but I did do it. The next month, or a few days later, my monthly subscription came out. And it kept coming out. And I kept contacting Amazon, which they have a very lousy communication center when it comes to anything, any problem that you have. And it is through online chatting. And I was talking to them the other day, and I went through about 7 different people that I would be talking to one, and then it would say, so-and-so is coming on. And then so-and-so is coming on. And it was very frustrating. So I was like, there got to be a way to fix this. And I would have all these charges going through my checking account that I did not know what they were. So I want to be able to have $2 in my checking account and know that I'm not going to be hit with some mysterious $5.34 and cause me to overdraw. So I went to the bank today. I went to our credit union. Very, very, very nice staff in there. Very helpful. And I told them my situation. And I had already told Amazon, do not deduct another penny from my account for anything. Just shut it down. I don't want, you do not have permission to take any more of my money for anything. They did refund me they actually hit me twice in January for the monthly fee. $14.03 hit me twice. They have reimbursed me for those, so got that took care of. But I went to the bank today because I had something come through, and it was called Dropbox Plus. Don't know what it is, don't want it, and didn't ask for it. But it hit my account for $10 and I think like 74 cents. So I'm like, I want this to stop. I want all these little tiny charges to stop, because my tracker should be no longer than half a page in a month. There should be no more than a half a page in a whole month. And it was like 3 pages long, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I've got to get this stopped. This is costing me, if it was all added up, it would be 2 truck payments. It's got to stop. So she recommended that I cancel the debit card, and she issued me a new one, and she said, do not link it with PayPal, do not link it with anything, and that will stop all of your transactions, because a lot of them were coming through PayPal, which it was linked to my checking account, so it was coming right out of the checking account if I didn't have any money in PayPal, which I typically don't. If Sonya pays me through PayPal, I typically will transfer that to the bank within a day or two. I'm gonna start, when I get somebody sends me money through PayPal for one of my products that I sell, I'm going to start taking a percentage of that and transferring it and leaving a percentage in the PayPal, so that I'll have a way to purchase things on Etsy or in things like that. So I'm hoping I've got a new bucket that has no leaks, no rust, and that will stop. Okay, so budgeting for the month of February, which I'm going to count our month as being from February the 4th to March the 4th, because this is the first payday in February, and I need it to go for a month. So February the 4th through March the 4th, and that's also going to be when I start the tracker, February the 4th, because the first 3 or 4 bills of February falls before the 4th. I did budget those for the last paycheck in January. So those are taken care of. So I am going, this is for the whole month, what I hope to do with our money. But let me see if I can get most of this into view here. Our budget, and also talking about planners, all that, I will never purchase another Erin Condren. Nothing against Erin Condren, very nice planner, very, very nice, except the pages are kind of small compared. I prefer this big book. I got this while we were on vacation back in January. It cost $10. It's a beautiful book, and I love the size of the pages. It's enough room for everything. But for this year, since I did purchase the Erin Condren, I'm going to do a rough draft on this book and then transfer the actual, when it's written in stone, as I call it, write it into the Erin Condren. But I mean, there's plenty of places that you can print off a calendar, because that's the only thing that I like about the Erin Condren is the month at a glance, where you can see the whole month. That is the only thing about it that really has, as for me, that has anything going for it. I thought I had ordered the 8.5 by 11 size book, and I ordered the, I think it's a 7 by 9. It's too small for me. I did go on Erin Condren and figure out what it would cost to get the bigger book, and it was like, I want to say it was like $40 something plus shipping, and this book here was marked $10, $9.99, and I think it was half price. And I love this book. My smaller book that I had from Target that I like to write lists in, my daughter came over the other day and I actually gave that book to her so that she could start doing a budget also. But for February the 4th, suspected income from me and my husband is about $7,400. And then in the bills, which will cover all the bills for the month, from Power, AT&T, that is both phones added together. Both truck payments added together. The life insurance, the car insurance. Car insurance is going to be different because I budgeted $160. I'm not exactly sure how much they're going to charge us for this for February, because I went to the insurance office, sat down with them, talked to them about our life insurance, talked to them about our car insurance, and talked to them about our homeowner's insurance, which is something that I really suggest that you do occasionally, not every few days, but every year go in and sit down and talk to your insurance agent, because I found out that our car insurance, we had the bare minimums, the state required minimums. And I went in there to try to save money on my car insurance, but I found I didn't have enough insurance. If I had had a wreck, it would not have even been enough to pay off my truck. And I would have had no vehicle, and I would have had to pay the rest of it out of pocket. Plus, I found out that if my vehicle is wrecked, whoever's fault it is, doesn't matter whose fault it is, I would be on foot because I did not have replacement, like a car rental, so I could rent a car to drive back and forth to my store to work. So that was a lot of things that I did not know that I found. I got an education. She tried to talk me into the other life insurance. I can't remember, but Dave Ramsey did not recommend it, and he's got more money than I do, so I chose the life insurance that he recommends, which the one that she recommended, it would have been $300 and nearly $400 a month for me and my husband, and ours is $112.33. So, she said you'll have the option to change the insurance, because my insurance, I believe she told me that this insurance is only good for 20 years, and after that it will drop off and I won't have any insurance. But before this drops off, I can change it to the other kind of insurance I don't really understand all of that, but anyway. But my car insurance is definitely going to go up. And I'm glad I went in and talked to her, even though it did cost me $15 a month to go and talk to her, because it did go up $15. But they'll have to do some adjustments because the car insurance is actually, I think it renews in May, something like that. And I'll know then exactly how much it's going to be every month. The water, we've budgeted $30 for the month of February, which will actually be paid the first part of March. The e-lock, $200. Dish Network, $116.27. The storage is actually $35, and Netflix is $18.98. That's one bill I've never had listed because I forgot about it. It comes through my PayPal, which was linked to my checking account. I have to find another way to pay for that because we do watch Netflix a lot. Okay, the total for our bills, $1764.58, and what is left is $5635.42. And then our cash envelopes, let me move some of this stuff out of the way here. Our cash envelopes, spending $480, gas $400, groceries $600, and prescriptions $150, which now at this point our prescription envelope is absolutely empty, and I believe I did use part of the grocery money to buy some of those prescriptions that I had to get in the last couple of weeks. Christmas, we're not going to be putting anything toward Christmas this month. Birthdays, we are going to put $20, and that fund is almost completely fully funded for the year. But we're going to put $20. Our first birthday is coming up the end of this month. And then not going to put anything toward car maintenance. That fund is completely empty because my husband and son changed the oil filter in my truck and my daughter's truck, and so that fund is completely gone. The boys, which is our little four-legged babies, I'll be putting $200. I normally put $20 a month or a paycheck, I can't remember. But we're going to be putting $200 toward that because Jack is not well. Nothing toward camper, nothing toward cemetery flowers. The house insurance will get $90. Our vacation is going to get $1,600. Our holidays is going to get $20. The kids, my grown children, will get $10 each, which is $50. Miscellaneous will be getting $100. Projects will be getting $100. Dr. Copay is going to get $60. Property tax will be getting $20. Meat, I do a sinking fund for our meat because we don't buy that but about 3 or 4 times a year. And then our $20,000 savings challenge is going to get $1,400. The Hands and Bands, which that is a YouTube channel, Hands and Bands mystery scratch off, is going to be getting I'm on budget $35 for that. Money Bags, which is a scratch off that I have made, and it's listed on my Etsy shop, and I will leave that link in the description box below. It will be, I budgeted $80 for that, and I think that's too much, but I wanted to make sure I had enough. Luxury is another savings challenge that I'm doing. I'm going to be adding $20 to that, and the 52-week savings challenge will be getting $119, and we will have a buffer for the month of $41. Now, I want to be able to budget to where I have a buffer of $5, and I'm safe because nobody has got their fingers in my checking account pulling money out. So right now, $41 is what I'm comfortable with for the month. Then we'll go back to this week. I've got it broke down per paycheck. And this week, our budget looks like this. We're going to be budgeting $3,650. And I will put in actuals here. This is why I like this book. I can draw up my own. I mean, it's easy to draw it up how you want to break your money down. And I broke it down into bills, cash envelopes, sinking funds, and savings. And also, I'm going to do a color coding of this so I can carry the color code all the way over into the tracking part of budgeting. And the bills are going to be this orange. And we have the power bill, both AT&T's, Dish, car insurance, and my truck payment for a total of $960.60. Leftover is $26.89.40. Our cash envelopes is going to get $240 for spending, $200 for gas, $300 for groceries, and our prescriptions is going to get a big chunk this time of $100, because I know both mine and my husband's medicines are due to be filled the end of this week for a total of $840, and we have $1,849.40 left after those have been paid for. Our sinking funds, we're going to add $800 to vacation, $45 to house insurance, $10 to property tax, $10 for each one of the 5 children, $10 for holidays. The boys will be getting $100. The miscellaneous is $50. The projects is $50. Dr. Copay $30, for a total of $11.45, and $704.40 is left at the end of that. Now our $20,000 savings challenge is going to get $500. 52 week is getting $58 this paycheck. Mystery, the hands and bands mystery scratch off is getting $11. I scratched that off the other day and it was $11. Money bags is going to be getting $30. I believe that's what I scratched off, is $30. We'll scratch those off again when those are stuffed, so we'll know how much it's actually going to be stuffed the paycheck of February the 18th. And then luxury, I will be adding $10 this paycheck for a total of $609 and a buffer of $95.40. Now you wonder where I came up with that big buffer when the end of the month, the whole month buffer is $41. The answer is over here, and I'm not going to show you the whole budget for the 18th. It's too much. I'm short $46.31. So that is where you take the $95.40, subtract the $41, and you come up within a penny or two of the shortage. So that's where that shortage will come from, is this buffer to make up the difference. So anyway, I hope that was easily understood. And so we will be starting Friday, doing all the tracking through our savings account. I will be doing a update every week as to how our grocery money is holding out, how that our spending money is holding out, or my spending money. I do not track my husband's. It'd be way too much, way over my head to do that. And the prescription, I'll be seeing how we're doing after 1 week of those and how much we have left over. And that's why I've not been doing this, is because I had a leaky bucket, and I'm hoping that I've got all the holes plugged. We'll see in the next in the next 3 or 4 weeks how that's doing, and if I spring another leak, I'll take care of it at that time. But I felt like I had an open vein, and money was just pouring out, and that was very frustrating. And sometimes I would think, is it worth my time to try to get those little tiny bits of money stop coming out of our account? And then I decided one day, okay, we're being stolen from. They are reaching into our account, into our checking account, and they're stealing our money. And I don't like that. I don't want that. And so I've been working on this, and it's hard. I had one app on my phone that I remember downloading it. I do not remember signing. I do not remember putting any of my information in there. It was the most annoying app I have ever downloaded. It was called TuneIn Radio. And it's impossible to find out how to cancel the Audible. I had Audible, didn't know I had Audible, and that was through Amazon, and it was like $16.99 a month, and I didn't want that. But Amazon reached out and got me anyway. But it was easy to stop Audible. But TuneIn Radio even says when you go to delete the app, just because you deleted the app does not mean you have stopped the subscription. So, but hopefully canceling the debit card, getting a new debit card is going to fix this. And if it does not, then I will go further. I will see what I can have to do to go further. If I have to shut down the entire checking account and open up a new one, that's what I'll do. Because I cannot stand, like I said, if I sat down and added them all up, it would be hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You know, you think about sinking funds. You add $5 to a sinking fund every payday, and it accumulates faster than you possibly realize. But this is not just $5. This is $14.03 over and over and over. This is $5.34 and $10.74 and all the over and over and over. TuneIn Radio, I think it was like $14 or $15 a month. You know, it adds up, and I do not want somebody else profiting from our money if I did not ask for their product. So there you go. But anyway, I will be back on Friday for a cash stuffing, and hopefully I'll have some good news about little Jack. I'll have some news one way or the other. I don't, I thought about just bringing him home and loving on him for a couple of days, and making him comfortable, and just bringing him home, because the little feller has always been here at home. He has rarely been anywhere but here. This is his house. We just live here with him, and you know, if it doesn't end well, then we have got a lot of good memories with Jack. And I just had a Facebook memory come up the other day, and I looked at it, and it was Jack when he was about that big, and I was videoing him, and he was jumping up at me, trying to get me to pick him up, and he was just a tiny, tiny little baby, and he's been a good friend. Thank you all so very much, and have a good night. Bye bye.